So it could be a past birthday, or it could be I don't know, somebody else's birthday. Or what about um, did you guys? So when you were growing up, did you guys? Was there much birthday celebration for you and Phil?
Well, by the time we got to, yeah, there were when we were little, but not a lot of birthday celebration um, after we got to Berkeley when I was 11.
Uh-huh.
Um, just nice little ones. My mom used to make a wonderful. Well, she made a wonderful orange cake, which is pretty hard to make. She made the one in the joy of cooking, and it's like it's a huge job. And she used to make a an applesauce cake that was sensational. She made fairly often, and sometimes for birthdays. That that I recall, but I don't know. Birthday. I'll probably wake up in the middle of the night tonight. Say, I've got it.
It'll be too late by then.
Well,
No pressure.
not too late to wake Alice up unnecessarily.
Tell her.
Oh, I just remembered this thing.
I know what I should have said. Okay, all right.
I know it. I've got something for you.
Okay.
In 1947, we had fairly recently moved in this very early spring, and we were living in a flat in a big red brick building, and it had been a laundry, and on the side of it there was a sign about 15 feet high, I mean huge, sanitary Chinese laundry. It wasn't an ugly sign, it was just an old-fashioned sign.
Uh-huh.
And that building got torn down a long time ago when they built the Bank of America down. This is right down. We lived at 1518 Shattuck, and that building said sanitary Chinese laundry on the side. And it was just feet from the F train that rolls by all the time, just right on Shattuck there. And so my brother and I had taken to going and getting Coke bottles out of garbage cans sometimes, because we could get 2 or 3 cents each on Coke bottles, and it only cost 13 cents to go to the matinee in the summer.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So yeah, so the ratio was appealing, and so we would go out in the parks and go look in the garbage cans and get enough bottles to go to the movies. And while doing that one day, at the corner of Center Street and Milvia, I went over to the garbage can, one of the ones, the big square ones. You open them up, there's a hole on top. Opened them up, and I looked something down in it. Looked interesting, and I pulled this little pasteboard box, kind of an old one, up out of it, and opened it up, and there was jewelry in it, obviously of some value. We had no idea what. And so my brother didn't know where to find, and we were with a kid who lived downstairs. So there were 3 of us, and so we looked in there, and there was a watch, and there was some gold stuff, and it wasn't like huge, incredible find, but it was something for us.
Yeah.
And so I found it, so I took charge, and we went right over to a jewelry store that was right at Morrison's, I think it was. We were later on Shattuck, but at that time they were on a side street, and we went in and I just said, I want to know. We found this in a garbage can. Is it worth reporting, giving it to the police, or is this stuff valueless? And they looked at it and said, no, it's well worth turning in. So we went down to the police station, which wasn't very far. I mean, it was like 3 or 4 blocks less.
Mm-hmm.
And we told them the story, and they thought, well, what honest little gentlemen,
Mm-hmm.
etc. Made a good impression while we were meanwhile picking their pockets. If only we had that to say. We didn't. so that they said that's good, and they said if it's not claimed within 6 months, it's yours. We'll give it back to you. We said fine, good. So they took our name, phone number, next day we were playing at Live Oak Park, up to the basketball court, and two carloads full of reporters from San Francisco and Berkeley and Oakland. I guess they had a pool or something, but they drove up and parked next to the park and came over and found us. These are the guys who found the jewelry. Yeah, got our names again. Okay, they said, well, we're we want to report this. This is news. So they took out a little box that was that size, and all of them threw their watches and stuff into that box, and then they posed us finding it. You should see Phil's face. It was going, us finding it, and then next day we were on the front page of the Berkeley Gazette, the second main news front page of the Call Bulletin in San Francisco, and I think one other San Francisco paper. But I still have copies.
I've seen this picture. Yeah.
Of that. So there were at least 3 newspapers reporting this, and it was just human interest, heartthrob stuff.
Right.
But it was fun for us.
Right.
To be discovered with that, and then the next day there it was in the paper. I mean that was a kind of an exciting few days.
Right.
And then 6 months later, it got more exciting because nobody ever claimed it. And they gave it back to me. And I shared something with Phil and something with this other friend who had been along. But mostly I kept it. And my mother liked one of the pieces of jewelry, and she wore that for years. And and there was a brooch in there. I think that we still have in a safe deposit box. Pretty nice brooch. No, that brooch was from my mother. I'm sorry. There was a brooch, but that's a different story. The different story is my grandmother. You don't have to record.
Go ahead.
My grandmother Ella Riley, who was my mom's mother, and who was the closest grandparent to us. I mean, physically and emotionally too. She had a love affair with a doctor. She was the head nurse in surgery in St. Francis Hospital surgery for a while, and she was a very, very good nurse. And she fell in love with a doctor from Italy, who was a count or something also. This is not too long after World War II. It was what was this? This must have been 48, something like that. And he wanted her to go back to Italy with him, and she very seriously considered it, and then decided she really wanted to be with her kids and not be in Europe while they were spending their lives. Not to mention us little.
This is how was her husband passed, or were they separated? Or
yeah, she was divorced for a long time from her husband.
Okay.
And so she was a free woman in that sense. But he had to go back, and she almost went back with him, but didn't. But he gave her a family brooch that was from his family that was quite beautiful, and we still have it. Alice has worn it a few times, but it's kind of big. And sometime we'll probably dispose of it. But I have a whole letter written about that brooch that we kept with it, and but that wasn't part of the garbage can.
Right. Separate.
Yeah, that just brought it back to
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was probably used up all the juice you had left on that.
There you go. That was fun. No, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.